Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. And we got some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It's back to an average-sized week for the first time in 3 weeks.
Something like that,
I feel like
yeah.
we had 3 kind of smallish weeks with the holidays and then an extra day in there as well. But now we're kind of back on full cylinders, hitting 2026 full bore, and you've got a returning favorite for your pick.
Yeah. I've got Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rites of Spring, issue 5, the penultimate issue of the series.
Next one's the last one.
Yeah, and it's going to be, considering what all happens in this issue, oh boy, next issue is going to be insane. Because, yeah, it's been a little bit since issue 4 came out, so just kind of a quick refresher. We've got Sam, she's been kind of like leading the sister of one of her victims from the original series.
Yes.
Kind of like leading her to find out like
on a wild duck chase.
Yeah, wild duck chase. Kind of like trying to find like what happened to her brother and everything. And like it's been kind of unclear. So like, okay, why is she doing this? Like, what's this all about? And with that, we've also been dealing with a lot of the other side characters from the original series, kind of like where they're at now, all these years later. Spoiler, mostly like not dealing with it too well. And that's all like kind of coming to a head here where it's hard to like get too into it because things go sideways real quick. I was talking about it with you before, like there's some things with this I absolutely saw coming, just like, oh, this is like how like this is going to get found out. This is how like this is going to be reacted to. And then like we get to the last couple pages and things just escalate so much more than I expected. There were 2 books I read last night where I like audibly made noise while reading them, and this was one of them.
Sure.
Yeah, basically everything's kind of like without getting too into it, like everything's kind of like burning down around Sam metaphorically, and maybe things are also going to burn down around her literally. Yeah. But no, this book Horvath has just been knocking out of the park with both these runs. Obviously, I love the original. I've been loving this whole series. I think I know I've had several issues of this up here so far. I don't know if I've had the whole thing. But yeah, no, this book.
It's been close though, between both the first volume and the second volume.
And the thing that I found very surprising about this is so like, yeah, like the like main thrust of it is like what's going on with Sam and her whole deal, like being a serial killer, kind of delving in more into her like past and like what she's doing now, but just like getting to check in with like the various other members of the town and just kind of like spending time with them is like way more engaging than you'd maybe expect to be in this whole like serial killer book. There's just like, I would honestly
it's busy town. It's full of all kinds of interesting people, animals, whatever.
Yeah, like just getting to like there's like there's a nice little like conversation at a newsstand at the start of the issue where it's kind of just like, oh yeah, people will like read all about all like these kind of like awful things in the world, and as long as there's like some level of distance between them, they can just kind of like make do with it.
Sure.
And just like how that kind of like comes home by the end of this issue. And yeah, no, it's fantastic. I'm going to be super sad that there's only 1 issue left. I don't know how they're going to potentially ever try and do like a 3rd series. I think the 6th issue of this is supposed to be the end.
I feel like we said that at the beginning of the first series, though.
Yeah, no, and they found a way, and like there's definitely something like I know that I said that, and now I'm more thinking like, oh no, they could do this, they could do that, like. But yeah, no, this book, man, I
would guess that there would probably be a pretty considerable gap again, right? Because there was at least a year, right?
Not quite a year, but yeah, there was a pretty decent gap between volumes 1 and 2 coming out. But yeah, no, this book, probably my favorite indie book that's coming out right now, which is saying something because there's a lot of really good indie books coming out now.
It's lightning in a bottle, and it has definitely caught the attention of the entire industry.
Yeah,
like it is, because it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was just as IDW was announcing that they were winding down their IP books.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of thinking like, what else did they do? What else are they going to do? And then this comes out and it just blows people's minds.
Which, I mean, shouldn't be too surprising because, like, before like doing a lot of the IP stuff, I feel like IGA was really known for like their horror. Like they did Lock and Key, they did 30 Days of Night.
Yep.
Like they've done all these things. Like yeah, they definitely have done like a lot of IP stuff. They had the Hasbro stuff for a while. They've got some other stuff, like they've been doing their like movie sequels and spin-offs and that. But yeah, no, like when it comes to horror, like if it's IDW, you're probably in good hands. Yeah.
It's been such a wonderful surprise.
Yes.
All terrifying ways that make me question myself as a human being.
Yeah. No, again, the end is nigh. And I'm equal parts excited and terrified to see it go. Yeah. Which, hey, speaking of things where the end is nigh.
Oh my gosh. So I went with the Ultimates, issue number 20. And it's no surprise to anybody who watches the videos regularly. The whole Ultimate universe that is happening in Marvel right now has been really well done and really well received here, but also just by comic readers in general. And Dennis Camp on the Ultimates has been exceptional. And we're seeing, they are holding to this whole, they're going to end the Ultimate universe. Like it is coming to an end. What exactly that means, we don't know, but the final confrontation between the Maker and all of the Maker's minions and the Ultimates, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers and Wasp and Giant Man and She-Hulk and, their whole, Luke Cage, their whole group. They've been on their back heel the entire time, right? Because the Maker has all the advantages. He's been running everything since 1962? 63. And all they've had is this very small window of him being gone to be able to try to do something. So what do you do when you have very little time to be able to defeat somebody who has absolute control over the entire world?
You make more time.
Yeah. So, as is obvious by the cover here, Nick Fury is very prominent in this story, but maybe not for... Anybody who's been reading all this stuff along the way knows that there is not just a singular Nick Fury. So that helps the cover make a little more sense, but... Nick Fury in this universe is a complicated character.
Yeah.
Lots of moving parts.
How dare you?
Yes. Unfortunate. But every time I hear that bell, I think of the Sesame Street thing. But...
Do we just wait?
Is there... Well, I don't even know how much it's picking up of it, but is there an answer for Nick Fury? Like, what is the perfect countermeasure to this Nick Fury as he exists in the Ultimate Universe? So we get to see what the attempt is to take out Nick Fury and the hundreds of helicarriers that are descending on one of the only free cities in the world. This is a really good combination between like large scale war, urban warfare, and a plan being enacted, and then you getting to see behind the scenes on where exactly this plan started and how it was implemented throughout everything that we've been reading behind the scenes. So it was a lot of fun and very, very clever. The only problem is it more clever than the Maker? Because that's when the rubber really hits the road. Yeah. And we thought the Maker was going to pop out of his bubble last issue, right? Yeah. And
turns out maybe there's a little bit more going on there than we thought.
Yeah, the bubble just got bigger. Yeah. And caught some flies in it. So with Hickman and Camp and Momoko and all the creators that are involved in this, that it's going to be something really good and well thought out. So I'm trying not to guess too much what's going to happen and just enjoy the ride. But this was a lot of fun. I was not expecting this issue after last issue.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, really love it. And we've got all the graphic novels for all the Ultimate volumes in stock right now, whether it's Spider-Man or Wolverine or the Ultimates, or so if you're wanting to get caught up and take this ride, highly recommend come in and pick up the graphic novels. All right, well, speaking of a crazy ride, and a fight to the death,
we've got DCKO issue 3, and I mentioned before that there were 2 books that made me like make an awful noise reading them. This was the other one because there's a fake out in this issue that like when you get the actual reveal, I like audibly laugh because it's just like I wanted this entire, as soon as they kind of start announcing a bunch of like the gimmicks for this book, it's just like, ooh, I want them to do this. And then they didn't do it when I thought they were going to, and then they did it here. I'm just like, yes, I love that. That's great.
Yeah. And again, great creative team. The art, the story, it's all a lot of fun. I think that this third one's my favorite one so far, and I think that part of it is because you don't have such a huge cast of characters.
It's much more pared down.
Yeah, it's a lot less whiplash. Although we do get to see some characters return, which was fun, but it was more focused even with them.
Yeah, no, like the 2 things I think this issue in particular really has going forward is it definitely like understands like this is a big event where the whole thing is you just want to see people punching each other in like crazy ways, but then also like gets a lot of like really good character beats out of it. There's like a bunch of moments where like I love the whole thing is so it's like it's the final 8 contenders and they get to like pick like a teammate to like fight one of the other ones. And so like everyone's kind of like picking and choosing their person, and just like how some of those play out with each other. There's one in particular which is like at first just like, I don't see why you didn't think this was what was going to happen when you picked that person. Like it's like and then like when you get to like, oh, this is why they did it, like there's I love seeing like all these characters play off each other. Some of them like you don't always get to see together too often. Some of them you wish you saw together more often and finally get to more here. It's just this issue is just like pure like fun insanity for almost the entire time, mixed with like just enough like heart that like it kind of like it never feels like you're just like eating chips. It feels like there's a bit more there than like you maybe expect.
And this one is the first one to kind of feel like a fighting game too, right? Like because it's a lot. The field is a lot. It's not even just but like the arena is a lot smaller. They're not flying around the landscape, beating the crap out of each other. They're just kind of down and fighting in these platform things. What do you think of the final 4? Do you like the lineup?
I do. I especially considering where this issue ends and what they're going to do with the next issue. I think it's a very good set of characters to have to deal with that. Yeah. And which is going to be its whole own thing to be like, I wonder what that's about. I have ideas, but
yeah, we're going to have to talk off camera afterwards about who we think the final 2 are going to be. I'm guessing there's going to be another curveball thrown at us for the next one.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of who the final 2 will be. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out exactly. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, these are our top 3. What was close to making it to the table?
We were talking about before, Transformers continues to be good. Like, honestly, if there wasn't a new issue of Beneath the Trees out, probably would have been up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really good.
How lucky were we to get Transformers and G.I. Joe the same?
G.I. Joe
especially with good crossover.
Yeah, G.I. Joe was also really good this week. I was saying before, there's a specific panel in there with Ripper where it's just this expression of just of God does not love me. Only bad things happen to me. Which, I mean, to be fair, you read the issue, she's like, yeah, man, it is not fun to be you, or frankly, a lot of the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Like, there's like one Dreadnought that I think has a good time this entire issue.
Although maybe, well, there's definitely one Dreadnought who's been having a good time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot of fun too. And we get a couple different reveals in this book, so it was a lot of fun. But again, the art is just great.
There's a couple particular reactions from Duke in particular to like some things that happened. Just like, Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I get why he's being like that.
Well, and shifting gears back to Transformers, Megatron may have finally just gone completely insane.
I've been saying, I really, as much as I love me like a morally great to possibly good Megatron, I also just love when he's just like an evil monster. And
He's an evil monster, yes. I like it so much more. And not just because it's easier to root against him. I just think it takes... It kind of unshackles him to just do anything at any point in time, which is scary.
Mora is very much channeling a lot of the work he did on Once and Future. If you never read that, definitely recommend it. Like he's got some expression work in terms of just really conveying like how nasty some of these guys are. Because there's a point at like the end of the book where like Megatron does a thing, and like a bunch of the Decepticons are kind of like looking on in like horror, and then there's one of them that's just like, yeah. And it's just like, ooh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was also a really great foreshadowing scene, the dialogue between a couple characters, and I think it's pretty obvious to see kind of how that's going to go, but then when that happens, then what's going to happen after that is going to be really interesting. But we've already kind of been in a little bit of that situation with the series, but yeah.
Oh, also, can I do? Should I bring up the one book that's on the stand that's probably going to be a topic for me today? The one that's right behind you.
Yeah, yes. It's one of those where within the historical timeline of comic books, it is very. I don't know.
I feel like most people know the movie more at this point.
Oh, sure. It's a big deal in where comics were and where comics ended up, but it is controversial, and it is definitely only for mature readers.
Yes,
we are speaking, of course, of.
It's Fritz the Cat, everybody.
Yowzers.
Yeah.
So, it's always when these opportunities arise for us to be able to bring in something like this, you always kind of struggle with it. But at the end of the day, it's a book that did have major ramifications on comics in general. And it was just kind of the era. There was so much stuff like this that was coming out at that time, and so much more after it, because there are so many copycats. But anyway, but very, very mature content.
Yes, but I just like, it's going to come up today. Everyone's going to be like, oh, hey, Fritz, you see? It's just like, yes, I've known about Fritz the Cat for like 15 years. I'm very aware of this thing being a thing.
Well, didn't you say that the movie was why he ended up killing Fritz the Cat and never bringing him back was so that nobody else could do anything more with him?
I don't know about that necessarily. I do know that apparently there was some like disagreements between Crumb and Bakshi in terms of like how the movie went.
Yeah.
Which is interesting considering most people generally enjoy both works, but
sure. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, there you go. So we've got a couple copies. I wasn't sure how much to bring in.
I'm half tempted to buy one just because of the bit, but
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so reader beware. There's going to be some things that might make you uncomfortable. Definitely not child friendly.
No.
So anyway, all right. Well, that'll do it for this week. Tons of stuff to read. Our graphic novel section is still in pretty good shape considering the holidays. We tried to.
We've got more stuff coming in for restock too.
Yes, we do. The Absolute stuff. Apparently, everybody bought it during the holidays. All over the world because there's a bit of a delay getting it back from the distributor, but about a week or two we should have those back in stock.
Funny enough, should be showing up around the same time that volume 2s of the book start showing up too.
Yeah, that'll be handy.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman is in stock right now, so and I highly recommend that as well. We'll be back next week with more Pulp Picks. Until then, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share, and stop on into your local comic and game shop to pick up your books, and we'll be back with more Pulp Picks. Until then, enjoy the reading. All right, so we've got the final four. Who do you think it's going to be?
I want to say it's going to be